Welcome. Today, we're looking into something really quite unsettling.
Yeah, it's about how a game, Pokemon Go, something meant to be fun, nostalgic even.
Right, tapping into that childhood feeling.
Exactly. How it accidentally, or maybe inevitably, became a kind of tool.
A tool for people with much darker intentions. We're going to share two true stories today.
Stories that show how the game's mechanics were twisted, used against players.
And these aren't just spooky tales, they're accounts of real encounters, real fear.
It's about understanding how these digital things we do can leak into the physical world, sometimes dangerously.
Let's start with the first one. This involves two friends, guys in their 20s.
They grew up with the original games, Red and Blue.
So a few nights ago, they're out driving late, like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Kind of reliving that nerdy excitement, cruising around their quiet hometown.
Streets are empty, just them, until they notice something on the game map.
A lure module, activated at a PokéStop nearby.
Now, for anyone who doesn't play, a lure module is a big deal, right?
Oh, yeah. You activate it at a PokéStop, a specific landmark, and for 30 minutes, it attracts Pokemon, sometimes rare ones.
And crucially, it attracts other players, too. Everyone nearby sees it and can benefit.
But this lure, it wasn't at a busy spot. It was in a park, a bit secluded.
At 2:30 a.m., that's the detail that felt off to them. Why there? Why then?
It's a strange time and place to use a valuable item like that if you just want Pokemon, unless you want something else.
Curiosity, maybe a bit of suspicion, but also wanting that rare catch. They decided to check it out.
So they drive over. The parking lot is dark, mostly empty.
The narrator gets out, maybe looking at his phone, while his friend Simon wanders off a little.
And that's when it happens. A car pulls up fast behind theirs, headlights, full beam.
Blinding him. And immediately the driver's side door opens.
A guy gets out. Older, maybe 50s. The narrator described him as looking a little rough around the edges.
And instantly the narrator feels something's wrong. The guy's movements are jerky, twitchy, eyes darting around.
Not normal behavior.
No. And he doesn't waste time. He says something like, "Hey, kid, what the hell, you're playing Pokemon Go?"
Kind of aggressive, almost demanding.
Then straight into, "Hop in, we can hunt them together."
Just like that. An invitation into his car. From a stranger. At 2:30 a.m.
The narrator immediately says no, tries to explain his friend Simon is right there.
But the guy, it's like he doesn't register the refusal. He just keeps pushing.
Insistent. Saying the narrator should ride shotgun, like it's already decided.
That refusal to take no for an answer is a huge red flag. It suggests he's locked onto a plan. He needs the narrator alone in the car. Now.
Luckily, Simon comes back right then. He heard some of the exchange.
And the effect was immediate, wasn't it?
Yeah. The narrator said the older man's face visibly dropped. Total change in demeanor.
Because the assumption that the narrator was alone and vulnerable was just shattered.
The friends knew they had to leave. Right away, they get back in their car.
But as they're reversing, that's when they see it. The thing that confirms this wasn't just some weirdo.
Their headlights sweep across the inside of the other guy's car.
Right.
They see someone else. A hooded figure rising up from the back seat, hiding.
Hiding. So the man wasn't alone. He lied.
Exactly. This figure was deliberately staying out of sight, behind the passenger seat.
Which means this was planned. A coordinated ambush. The lure wasn't just bait. It was a trap set for someone, probably someone alone.
They didn't wait to find out more. They just, quote, fucking hightailed it out of there.
And the other car followed.
Followed them close for a few minutes. They had to drive erratically, take the long way home, just to be sure they weren't led back to the narrator's house.
It's terrifying. The lure gave the predators certainty, pinpoint location, and a reason for the target to be there distracted.
They did report it to the police. But the narrator got the sense the officers weren't sure how serious it was.
Which is understandable, maybe, if you don't grasp the context. Without an actual assault, it might sound like just a creepy encounter.
Yeah.
But the use of the game mechanic, that's calculated.
Definitely. It highlights needing a buddy system, especially late at night in isolated spots.
Absolutely. That story shows the danger of static bait, using a fixed location.
Okay, now let's shift gears. The second story. It involves a different game item and a different kind of threat. Broad daylight this time.
But equally, if not more, disturbing in some ways.
This account comes from a 19-year-old woman in rural England, living, as she put it, pretty much the middle of nowhere.
Isolation is key here.
She was out for a jog using an item called incense. She'd activated about 10 minutes into her run, just as she entered this stretch of secluded woods.
Right. And incense works differently than a lure. It only attracts Pokemon to the user, and it works better when you're moving.
So it encourages you to say, keep walking or jogging.
While staring intently at your phone screen for 30 minutes straight, it creates a predictable pattern of movement and distraction.
And she made herself even more vulnerable. She said her attention was fixed to the screen and, crucially,
Headphones.
headphones in, blocking out all surrounding noise.
That's a recipe for lowered situational awareness. Cognitive tunneling, we call it. Your focus narrows so much you miss obvious cues from your environment. The game essentially engineers this state.
So she's jogging through these woods, totally absorbed in the game, music playing. She never heard him approach.
Didn't hear a thing.
Until she felt a tap on her shoulder.
Oh, wow. That alone would make you jump out of your skin.
She said it nearly gave her a heart attack. She rips out her headphones, spins around.
It sees.
Some man.
Yeah.
Mid-30s, sweaty, scruffy beard, wild hair, dressed in cheap camouflage gear like he was trying to blend in.
Okay. Already very unsettling. In the middle of nowhere woods.
But it was his eyes. She said they were open incredibly wide, almost unnaturally so, like he didn't have eyelids, just staring intensely.
That sounds terrifying.
She froze, pure fear, and then he spoke. Not aggressively, but robotically, emotionless.
What'd he say?
He delivered this absolutely chilling line, "Give me a reason not to kill you." Just like that. No preamble.
Nothing. Just that flat statement. My God. What do you even say to that?
She couldn't say anything. She was paralyzed, and then, almost like he was thinking aloud, he muttered,
Yes.
"No one would ever know it was me."
Okay, that changes things. That sounds less like a direct threat and more like contemplation. Like he's testing the scenario out loud.
That's exactly what she felt, that this felt like some kind of test run, like future serial killer behavior almost. Gauging her reaction, confirming the isolation.
Assessing the feasibility. Checking if the conditions were right for something terrible. He wasn't demanding anything from her, just running this internal script.
And then after this horrible, heavy silence, he just turned around.
Now attack.
No. Turned around, calm as anything, and just walked back into the dense woods, disappeared, didn't follow her.
Leaving her there.
In tears, absolutely terrified, she sprinted home. She mentioned she jogged there countless times and had never seen another person in those particular woods before.
The isolation was complete. And her distraction, thanks to the game and headphones, made her the perfect, unaware target for him to rehearse on.
It's profoundly disturbing, the randomness, the coldness of it.
Again, while it's not the game's fault directly, the mechanics in the incense encouraging movement while distracted headphones blocking sound created the vulnerability he exploited.
So, two stories, two very different methods. One using a lure to create a static trap for an ambush.
And the other leveraging incense-driven distraction on a moving target for what feels like a psychological dry run.
What connects them, really?
It's the exploitation of digitally driven predictability, isn't it? Whether you're drawn to a specific spot by a lure or walking along a path absorbed by incense, your behavior becomes predictable.
Your location and your state of mind distracted are known quantities.
Exactly. And that knowledge, that predictability, is what gets weaponized by people looking for an opportunity. They know where you'll be, and they know you probably won't be paying attention.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? If something as seemingly innocent as playing a mobile game can put you in that kind of danger.
What about all the other ways we're constantly plugged in? We spend so much time scrolling, streaming, headphones on, lost in our own digital bubbles.
Constantly giving off signals about where we are, what we're doing, how distracted we might be, through all sorts of apps and habits we don't even think twice about.
If a game mechanic can be leveraged like this, what other digital breadcrumbs are we leaving that could potentially map out our vulnerabilities for someone with bad intentions? It's a sobering thought.
It really is. Thank you for joining us for this unnerving look at the darker side of reality bleeding through our screens. If these stories sent a shiver down your spine, please support our efforts. Be sure to hit that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs, for more true tales of terror. We wish you safety in your journeys, and remember to stay watchful. Goodbye for now.